ROI, the return on investment of SMS, the return on investment of email supersedes the ads. I'm trying to tell you. Argue with me right now. We can argue right now on that. I'm not going to lie to you. We can argue all day on that. Everybody knows that email and SMS will supersede ads. That's just what it is. Look, bro, you've been lied to. You think you got to run Facebook ads. You think you got to spend $10,000 a month on Meta. But you see all these other brands growing their stuff organically. You wonder how they doing it. How are brands like Hellstar, Cortez, Broken Planet doing this? How are they dropping without running ads? When it seems like all you hear from the internet is brand scaling. Oh, I'm going to scale your brand with ads. Freelance brand scaling. You hear that so much, this buzzword. But how do brands grow organically, and how can I grow my brand to $1 million in sales organically? Now, I'm going to tell y'all that in this video. By the end of this video, you guys will know how to scale your brand and how to grow it to $1 million in sales. You feel me? Look, before I even get started with this video, and I want y'all to understand something. This will take time. This is not no overnight fix on how you're going to make $1 million. This is not a get rich quick scheme. And I am not selling you anything. I'm not selling you nothing in this video. So you guys can go ahead and live from a mindset of a learning. I'm giving you free game. I'm going to give you guys everything that you really need to know to make $1 million. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Now, all you got to do is take this information, apply it, put the work in, and eventually there might be a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many years it takes, depends on how much work you put in and how much you're willing to adapt and change and learn from your mistakes. You will hit $1 million in sales with your clothing brand, whether that be in a month, whether that be in a year. Like I said, it all depends on how much work you put in. But without further ado, let me go ahead and hop into this video. So I'm going to explain to y'all why ads can kill a brand early. Now, the reason why ads can kill a brand early, ads, they're a good tool, a good media buying tool to get your brand known about, to get eyes on your brand. But it's not the most important thing when we're talking about community building. Now, that actually comes from the interior brand, your heart, your brand's true identity. That type of storytelling and meaning and stuff like that is what can really build a community with your brand, if you guys know what I mean. So that's the one and biggest thing I'm going to just say. That's why it's the first part. Community, community, community. The community is who buys. The community is who spread the word. The community is who builds the hype. So focus on the community, not the ads. So much businesses are worried about profit, 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 profit at the end of the day. And that's, partially why you clicked on this video. You've seen the $1 million in sales. But look, profit isn't always the most important thing when we're talking about scaling and building a community. Scaling a community, growing a community with a brand is not something that ads can do. And I'm sorry, it just can't do it. Now, if you have a strategy, it can't do it by itself. If you have a strategy behind it, all right, I'm going to use this awareness campaign to get this known about and build a community based on this. Boom, it very well could work. But relying solely on sales campaigns, running ads, will not get you to $1 million in sales. And if it does, I promise you, your profit margins are not going to be pretty. They're going to be all right, but not spectacular. Like brands like Hellstar, where they're dropping a collection, for example, like Capsule 10, I believe it was. Capsule 10, they released last year. They dropped $2 million in 30 minutes. Not a single ad ran. And you want to know why? Because their community, you feel me? The hype behind the brand and the word of mouth spreading of this drop was so powerful, more powerful than any Facebook ads campaign you've ran, because you have not done 2 million in 30 minutes. I promise, 99% of people watching this video have not done 2 million in 30 minutes. So what do? We open our minds, we pay attention to what the competition is doing, how they're doing it, and we implement some of these things into our business. So for example, like I said, $2 million in 30 minutes. That is crazy. And that just goes to show that the community and the hype that you build up outside of Facebook ads, outside of, ads, is more powerful than the ads itself. Now, if Hellstar was to combine their own community with ads, Of course, they're going to see growth, exponential growth, but that is not, the take that they want to do on things. For example, like Nike has commercials. They're the biggest sneaker company in the world. And they have a lot of word of mouth. People talk about the new Jordans, new Nikes that come out in barbershops all the time. That's a lot of word of mouth, a lot of hype, community. But they still do Super Bowl ads. They still, have commercials and do ads and stuff like that. That's just the marketing strategy that Nike is using. You feel me? If you want to be like Nike, replicate Nike's strategy. Add your own sauce on it. Of course, it's not going to work exactly how they did because they grew at a different time. Now you have to, use 2025 tactics to grow to a status like Nike. But what I'm telling you guys is community. Community. Ads will not get you a community, y'all. Ads will not get you a community. Your brand itself, the meaning behind it, the content you portray, these are the things that will build you a community with your clothing brand. Not ads. Now the sales will come. If you have a good creative, the sales will come. Ding, ding, ding. Shopify gonna be busting. Shopify gonna be dinging. But returning customers, where are they? Where are they to be found? People commenting on your post. Where are they to be found? People sharing this with their friends, telling their friends about the new drop you got coming out. Where are these people found? These are your real target audience, your real fans. You don't have fans of your brand, you just have customers. And that's why you're having a hard time building a community and translating every drop to drop. You might have a drop that flops. But, the brands that have a community and have people that's built around them, it doesn't matter what they drop. And these brands do such a good job of dropping something that their core audience would like so much that even if the outside world does not accept this product, our core audience will sell us out. Our core audience will take away 50% of this drop and leave us in profit. You feel me? That's what we want to focus on when we're trying to build a long-term brand. Now, if this is a get rich quick scheme and you're just trying to boom, get sales. Have that Shopify dashboard looking good, up to 6 figures, to a point where you're like, oh, I don't want to do it a brand anymore. Pitch this idea. Look, I have grown this Instagram to 20K. I got over 100K in sales. Do you want to buy this brand from me? And that's what a lot of brand owners do. And it's a smart exit strategy. But if you're in it for the fashion and you love fashion and you want this to be a long-term thing that you're in control of, these are just the steps that you have to take. You got to build a community. You got to focus on things like that. You feel me? Speaking of community, if you guys do not know, I do have a Telegram that I get free game in. It will be links in the description. So, you feel me? I just want to plug that real quick. But it's free. Go ahead, join if you guys want to hear my opinions on things. I have a lot of insight on the industry, clothing industry things, of course. But let's go ahead and hop on to the next topic. So, I'm going to tell you what most brands go wrong in doing. Now, where they go wrong, like I will go back to saying what I said before. They go wrong in focusing too much on the sales and not the community. Now, I'll tell y'all what these $1 million brands do. They focus on building a cult-like audience. Focus on building a cult-like audience that you never have to worry about your rent paying again because you already know you have these 100 customers that will buy no matter what. These people will keep you grounded, keep you going, and keep the business running. Keep the overhead, you feel me? Keep the overhead paid for. You know what I'm saying? You need to focus on building a cult-like fan base. And I'll tell you guys how to do that. How you build a cult-like fan base is you do everything in your power to have your brand relate to your target customer. Now, a lot of brands are not focused on that. They're focused kind of on the piece, and the piece is just all that relates to the target customer. No, the brand message has to relate to the target customer. The type of content that you post has to relate to the type of customer. So if you got a skate brand, you damn sure should be doing skate short films, skate content where people are doing tricks every day, because this is the type of stuff that your audience loves. And it's obvious. It's an obvious thing to say. It's an obvious thing to do. But when it comes to streetwear brands in general, the way that they represent it, they don't know how to do it. Of course, it seems obvious when you're making gloves for football and you just gotta make videos of people catching, or it seems obvious when you're making cleats and you just gotta get content of people running in the cleats. But when it comes to brands, it becomes very, 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 very more niche down. Like, what type of brand are you? Let's say you're a dark core opium type of brand. You feel me? Like a I don't know what type of brand. Rick Owens, for example, but that's like a mainstream brand, but like a brand that takes inspiration from that. So like that dark, grungy type of vibe, your content needs to match up with that, because that's what your target audience thinks is cool. Now you have these outliers that don't like this type of stuff, and they just happen to like the hoodie from your brand, and let those people be outliers. But your main target audience, you need to focus on them and make sure it feels like a home for them. This feels like a home. Their couch is just the way they want it. Their rug is the way they set up the way they want it. The TV channel that they play are playing all the time. The smells, the candles, the incense they like is the flavor they want. You got to think about everything your customer would want and provide that as a brand, and that will attract the cult like audience. If you guys know what I mean, like that's what's gonna attract the cult like audience. You making them feel welcome. You making this feel like a home for them. That's the perfect way to explain it. And also, while you have these this community of this cult like people, they're gonna buy your clothes fast, leading to the perception of scarcity, leading to the demand of the product going up. Now, when things are scarce, the demand increases. So you have so much people buying this one product, right? We have so much people buying this Hellstar shirt. Hellstar is buying, it sells out from their cult fan base. We have their cult fan base wearing this product, having other people telling people about this product. Oh, Hellstar, it's a new brand. Oh, it's so raw. Just look at the shirt. And all of this stuff, along with the status of it, the rappers wearing it. Of course, we 15 minutes in the video and we haven't talked about influencers wearing the product. But the rappers wearing it, the influencers wearing it. All of this added together is giving you the outcome of organic demand. Organic demand. Now, when all of these things work together, the scarcity, the fan base that's spreading the word about it, that's buying it, that's creating the scarcity, the word of mouth, your own content and marketing, Instagram, your social media pages, all of that is going to be pushed out if your cult audience is engaging with your content. That's how these algorithms know how to show people the right content. They look at the video, they look at the data of how long people are watching this video. Of course, your cult fan base is going to watch to the very last second. How many times are people interacting in the video? Are they liking? Are they commenting and they're sharing? All right, this adds more data to the algorithm. This is a good video. Now, when you have a multiplication of 100, maybe 200, 300, however many people are in your cult-like fan base doing the same things, these are why these brands' videos go viral. You have people reposting them. You got people sharing them, liking them. This is why these videos go viral. People are wondering, why are my videos not going viral? Maybe because your videos aren't good. Maybe that's why. Maybe because people aren't interacting with the videos, bro. People aren't interacting with the video. That's why they're not going up. Instagram's not seeing your video as being a popular thing to talk about. People are not seeing, Instagram not seeing your video as interesting. That's why your video is staying stuck at 1,000 views, 2,000, 5,000 views. Now, if you make something original, you have a better chance of it going viral, because people tend to comment on original things. They tend to interact with original things. You feel me? I'm gonna move on, bro. Like, I tend to always give y'all a lot of game in these videos. Like, that's what I want to make sure. I tend to give y'all a lot of game. So my videos end up being super long, but those of you that are listening and paying attention and taking notes, things should make sense to you. And if you apply these things to your own brand, this doesn't have to be a clothing brand. This could be a product-based brand as well. I have a product-based brand as well as a clothing brand. These things are what's going to get you to these $1 million drops, these $1 million months. Just these basic way of thinking. Now, this mindset that I've developed from clothing has been able to translate into my product-based brand. Of course, we don't do drops or anything like that. We just have a product that we sell all year round, 24/7. But the demand, the word of mouth of this product, of this brand, is spreading. That's why the brand is growing. Let's get back to what I was saying. We're talking about marketing. Marketing. And for the most part, we're talking about reaching new people. But in terms of what we can do to control the people that we already have, email and SMS are the most powerful things in terms of marketing and having our own community under control. That's one of the biggest things that we can do to have our own community under control, to monetize our community. Before email and SMS, what was there? There was newsletters. You sign up for a newsletter, they send you in the mail every month. Magazines, this type of stuff, they send you in the mail every month. That's what's the advertising back in the day. It's revolutionized. It's 2025. Now the newsletters are straight from our phone, straight to our email. If we're sending email and SMS, that's getting that return. Like I say every video, returning customers will keep your business afloat, will scale your business, will grow your business, because these people are actively saying good things about you, leaving reviews, telling their friends, blah blah blah. But these people, SMS, email, these are the people that's on your email and SMS list. These people are the people that are sharing your product word of mouth, or these are the people that are sharing your product with their friends, word of mouth and stuff like that. And returning customers is very important. But you have to realize that these big brands, they aren't getting $1 million in sales from all new people. Now, there is a percentage of people that may have never bought from the brand before that are trying to get in on the hype. But 30 to 50% of these big brand drops, and 30 to 50% of the sales come from email and SMS flows, automations, and just announcements in general. That's where most of these sales are coming from. I promise you. The brands that are not running ads and are getting the sales organically, like I said, this is what this whole video is about. How to get sales without running ads. How to get to $1 million in sales without running ads. The brands that are getting these sales without running ads, 30 to 50% of their sales are coming from email and SMS. And that's why that is so powerful. That's why your email pop-up and your SMS pop-up needs to look the best that it can look, needs to perform the best that it can perform, needs to collect as much data as it can, as much customers as it can, because it literally, when you send an email campaign, when you send an SMS campaign, and for those of you guys that have done this before and had success, you guys who are the other 6-figure brand owners that are watching this video, you guys know SMS and email, it feels like cheating. It feels like you're printing money out of nowhere, because you send an SMS, you know, maybe if you have 1,000 people on there, it might be $20 to send an SMS. If you get, out of that 1,000 people, if you get 10 people to buy a $100 product, you've just made you generated $1,000 out of nowhere, right? $1,000 out of nowhere. It seems like, of course, it comes from somewhere. It comes from a previous customer, somebody that signed up, somebody that wanted a discount. But when you are spending $20 to make 1,000, the ROI, the return on investment of SMS, the return on investment of email supersedes the ads. I'm trying to tell you guys. Argue with me right now. We can argue right now on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. We can argue all day on that. Everybody knows that email and SMS will supersede ads. That's just what it is. If you have a fan base that loves your product, that wanted that wants the exclusivity of being in the SMS list, that wants to know about, wants to be the first to know about something. These are the people that buy from your brand. These are the people that support you. These are the people that keep your pockets filled and your lights on. This co-audience right here, the people that are in your SMS, the people that are in your email, these is all, you know, it's all full circle. These people, they comment on your Instagram post, they like your Instagram post, they share your post, they tell your friends about it, they join the email list, they get the text messages, they buy from the website, they get their clothes, they post it on Instagram. In turn, they tag your brand. Boom. The cycle starts all over and 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 over until you take over the world. Word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing. I'll tell you that right now. Word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing, and probably the oldest form of marketing. But nevertheless, let's move on to the next thing that's gonna help you guys eventually achieve $1 million of sales for your brand. A lot of the things that I'm saying, they make sense. Of course they make sense, but who has actually done this before? Like, who has marketed their brand like this? Of course we have brands like Hellstar. Bro, like Hellstar did this perfectly. They literally made their drops feel like it was an actual event. If you can make your drops feel like an event, that's what most brands struggle with. They can't make their drops feel like an event. I remember when a Supreme used to drop I can't remember what day it was, bro. But I was a kid. I used to be on a bus trying to buy Supreme early in the morning. It was like 10 in the morning or something like that, trying to buy it early on the bus. Get Supreme drops to hopefully resell. Looking at the people like Blazendary and stuff like that back in the day. If y'all around my age range, like 19 to 21, y'all would know that's what it was, you feel me, back then. I just always loved streetwear and stuff like that, so I used to try to catch Supreme drops. But if you can make your drop feel like an event, trust me, fam. Trust me. You are going to print on drop day. You're going to print on drop day. And that's how Hellstar did it. They made their drop seem like an event. Plenty of content leading up to it. Like, it was the suspense of this drop coming out. And everybody wanted to be a part of it. So they bought into it. And they got $2 million in 30 minutes. Like, and if you combine that with your brand being worn at the right time with the right people, like celebrities, like rappers, NBA players, everybody's wearing it, while you're dropping your own content and feeding this into your own fan base, your cult following, you're going to have a $1 million brand. So you gotta let the people do the marketing for you, bro. You gotta let the people do the marketing for you. And Hellstar is a perfect example of that. Letting the people do the marketing for him. Because when people started doing the marketing for him and he stepped back and he just let the people do it, that's when the brand popped, bro. That's when the brand popped. But another brand that did this, bro. Another brand that did this, and I had to take my hoodie off because it was getting a little too hot, if y'all wondering why I switched. Of course, Cortez. They used Instagram. They used Instagram. They made their drops feel like events, even from that sneaker thing that they did. Everybody in London running through the streets to get their product, like making your product have an event and a culture behind it, and giving people the experience to shop with you, even from pop-ups. There's so much ways you can build community, and if you need help building a community with your brand, scaling it past the mark that it's stuck at. Maybe you're stuck at a $1,000 drop, $5,000 drop, $20,000 drop. There's something in your business that needs to change for you to scale. If you guys need help, of course, links will be down in the description. But I'm getting a little carried away in this video. That should wrap it up for you. And, you know, with this video, you guys should understand how these brands have gotten to $1 million drops, how these brands market themselves, and how these brands get to $1 million drops without ads. But, bro, pay attention. Organic is the way in 2025. If you guys aren't using organic, building a community, a cult life fan base, you are losing. You feel me? More game coming, a lot of more stuff coming. If you guys didn't check out the last video, go ahead and check that out now, bro. That might be one of the best videos I've done dropped in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and catch y'all in the next one. We out.